After further review, the play that Chris was talking about earlier, this is the sack on Patrick Mahomes by Denzel Perryman that, if it looks familiar, it should. Watch this, the twist and the whip and the throw to the ground.
Oh, he threw him harder than he threw Brady. Oh.
Unnecessarily threw him to the ground.
Oh.
But see, even though it kind of would have been a makeup call, I think Carl Cheffers wasn't calling roughing again the rest of the night on either team after what happened in the first half, the reaction to Chris Jones' play. But that look at that. Thank you. Great job on the split screen. That looks like the same thing. And this is the problem. When you have 17 different referees and you have 17 different standards and 17 different ways of viewing things, you're going to have different outcomes potentially because guys are going to interpret that phrase, when in doubt, always throw the flag differently. And what's the level of doubt? What's the standard in that moment that's going to formulate the I'm going to throw the flag? So not a surprise to me that happened, because of the way that they generally officiate these plays. Chris.
Yeah, no, I know. Again, the biggest thing to me is they gotta stop this. For more than anything, it's wrong for the sport. But the fixes in crowd is loving this right now. The fixes in crowd loves it, and that's not good for the gambling era here either in 2022 either. That's the other issue. But yeah, I mean, that shouldn't have been called on Patrick Mahomes. It should never be called against Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes will get in that position before the year's over and break out of somebody's tackle and go make a play. All right? So that's where I don't understand what the defensive guy is supposed to do. Wait, I got my hands around your waist now. It's not even like I'm hitting you, and I'm supposed to let go? What are we talking about? What are we talking about, NFL? I'm telling you, if they don't correct it, I'm going to continue to go hard on this. I really am.
And are we basically suggesting Pro Bowl rules? Because we saw a couple of those on Monday night where it's just grab the quarterback and the quarterback relents and stops.
Right, we did.
But is the quarterback always going to do that? I mean, my God, one of the great plays in NFL history never would have happened if Eli Manning had done that in Super Bowl 42, because he was in the grass. Remember, that was a big deal back when your dad was playing.
Right.
Quarterback in the grass. That was one of the steps in this evolution of protecting quarterbacks. Well, when he's in the grass, we're going to blow the whistle and end the play before he gets thrown to the ground on that green cement they used to play on. So it's just unfortunate. It's the way it is. And, Chris, I don't think they really want to fix it because... And it's not, for example, Clark Hunt, the owner of the Chiefs, saying, I want my franchise quarterback on the field. It's all the owners want Patrick Mahomes on the field.
Sure.
All the owners want Aaron Rodgers on the field. None of the owners want to have a primetime game where it's backup versus backup and no one's going to watch.
Right.
And no one's going to care. They want the best players available to play because that's how you get 20, 25, 30 million people to tune in.
I know, but we haven't had that issue for a long time, really. I mean, really, it's the star quarterbacks are healthy every year. Like, we're going way too far now. That's my point. I think you're totally right. I'm all for that too. But we're going into two-hand touch here. That's what I'm talking about. And that's where it's not acceptable. So that's where I don't love it. It's gone way beyond protection of the quarterback now. It's affecting the football game, and we have a guy that's just making a, hearsay judgment call in the biggest moments of the game because he doesn't like it. And that's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's a total disservice to the Atlanta Falcons organization. It really is. They screwed them over, and the NFL can't pay them back now because of that shitty call by the ref.
I'm not sure what the concept of hearsay did to get dragged into the conversation, but I'll give you that.
Thank you. All right. I know. I was struggling for my phrase I wanted there.
The other report that emerged yesterday is that the sensitivity to roughing the passer isn't a reaction to the Tua Tagovailoa situation, and I don't disagree with that. I think that reaction comes later, if and when the overreaction to Tua, where guys are being removed from play when under the old standard they would have been allowed to play. If that becomes an epidemic in the NFL, then I think we do see greater sensitivity to roughing to prevent guys from being put in a position where they feel compelled to keep them out of the game. So that could be coming. But for now, I just think this is what we've seen over the past several years, where they are very sensitive about any quarterback injury that would knock the guy off the field and out of play and out of action. And the better the quarterback, it feels like the greater the protection, although Patrick Mahomes didn't get the Tom Brady protection on Monday night. Let's look at one where, and this is the next step. This is where the box full of Pandora can come into play, Chris. Jacoby Brissett gets a call for roughing the passer. Sebastian Joseph Day of the Chargers hits him, and he does the soccer flop. And look, do we have to get to the point where we penalize quarterbacks for doing flops? Is that the next step in all this?
Well,
these guys try to draw these fouls by falling down when they're barely touched?
This is, again, like, what are they seeing? He didn't see anything here. There was nothing he saw. See, again, this is where it's
when in doubt.
When in doubt. I just saw him fall out of the corner of my eye, and it had to be illegal. You can't touch the quarterback.
All right. When in doubt.
They're ruining the sport. They're going to ruin it. They're in danger of us going down. We're going down. You know what we're going to get this year? Rams Saints. They're going to call one of these stupid penalties in the biggest moment of the AFC or NFC championship game, and I'm going to tell everybody not to watch the Super Bowl because the team that shouldn't have been in there is not. I am. Not on NBC this year. I'm going to tell everybody not to watch. I am.
First of all, you're not, and it's not going to matter. They're still going to watch. Now,
I don't know, but we're going to get a complaint. I'm going to get them going.
A dramatic ratings drop in New Orleans that year for the Patriots-Rams Super Bowl. Right. Dramatic local ratings drop. I don't know that it affected the overall number, but you take a major city and you have a ridiculous drop in viewership. Yeah, that's an effect. The bigger concern, though, Chris, because I don't think they care about fans huffing and puffing because they're not going to blow the NFL's house down. We're still going to watch the games. We're just going to be pissed off more often when we do, but we're still going to watch. They don't care if we're happy while we're watching it. They just want us to watch it. The bigger concern, and you touched on it, it's gambling. It's legalized gambling because this kind of stuff opens the door for a Tim Donaghy potentially to infiltrate the NFL at some point.
Right.
And it also opens the door for the tinfoil hat crowd to say the fix is in.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm hearing it more and louder and louder. The fix is in.
They want Tom Brady to win. They want Josh Allen to win. They want them in the Super Bowl. The fix is in. It's all you see when it goes on in social media. And you know me, I don't even look at social media like that. I'm a quick scroller to get a feel for comments and things like that. And that's where, they're embellishing it. And to me, Mike, here's the other part of it to your basketball thing. It's becoming a makeup call, too. Like, oh, we missed up a call, so the next time somebody will touch the quarterback and I can just call roughing the passer. Or let's go to this next clip against Dante Fowler, all right, with the Rams and the Cowboys game, okay? Because this is, they're a little out of the game, so let's help them out a little bit, all right? That's what's going on here a little bit. Are you kidding me with this one right here? I mean, I don't even know, what are we calling? What are we calling again? It wasn't even a half a step. The ball's barely out of his hand. He didn't take another step. He didn't do anything wrong. But the Rams are down 22-10 late in the fourth, and this is something I'm starting to see a little in all games. It's close. They're down. Let's throw it. We'll make the game interesting. The fix is in. I'm telling you, I'm not going to let this crap slide.
Look. It's not that the fix is in for the Rams. It's the fix is in for the team that's behind.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's something the commissioner said 10 years ago as they were getting ready to play the Super Bowl in New York. He was asked who he roots for. He roots for who's trailing. They love it. They were basking. There was an interview with the commissioner in London on NFL Network over the weekend. They were basking in the fact that all these games are exciting and they're close. They want these games to be close in the fourth quarter. They thump their chest as if the league has any control over it. They're doing victory laps over 15 out of 16 games. Last weekend were within one score in the fourth quarter. That's how you take that viewership and stretch it as deep into the 3 hours as possible. So, I don't know that anyone's telling these guys to do it. And Chris, I'll go back to when in doubt, because when you watch that, you see the helmet of the Cowboys player dip down and potentially make contact with Matthew Stafford. When in doubt, looks like he hit him with his helmet. When in doubt. The rule book says when in doubt. That's what they need to. I don't like. And I remember when they did this 12 years ago with the illegal hits to the head and neck area of defenseless receivers. They explained it at first as they want the officials to err on the side of caution. And then they realized that doesn't sound good. It sounds like we're accepting errors. We don't want errors. We don't want anyone to make errors. Well, when in doubt is basically a different way of saying the same thing.
Yeah, it is. The language has got to get changed. The when in doubt thing, I think you're right, is the number one issue here. That has to be taken out. What is that aspect of it in football with anything? When in doubt. That's what we're going by now? Please stop. Please stop. I'm telling you, I'm not going to let this die down, this subject, too. And I'm telling you, if it happens in the AFC or NFC Championship game, I'm going to start it. I really am. I'm mad about this.
I know one area where when in doubt doesn't apply, and that's holding by offensive linemen. Because I see it out of the corner of my eye 1 out of every 3 plays at a minimum.
Right.
Where a guy's coming around the edge, and he's got an arm wrapped around him tight as he's trying to get around the edge.
You're right about that.
Or a forearm in his neck, pulling him back, and you don't see the flag.
But it goes into protecting the quarterback again, and it goes into, hey, we're going to be able to throw the ball and do that. And it evens the balance, Mike, with a deeper conversation that goes on in football right now that I've been kind of wanting to talk about. There's so many more good D linemen than offensive linemen in the NFL right now. It's a problem. It's why the games are low scoring. It's just the defensive linemen are overrunning offensive linemen in every game, other than a handful of really good football teams that have a really good offensive line. So, but it all, I think, plays to the same issue a little bit, Mike, that we're talking about there.
We talk a lot, and especially as it relates to journalism, there needs to be a firewall between news gathering and the business side of things, because you don't want the business side of things to influence the decisions being made by the people who are simply trying to get to the truth, unaffected by how it affects the bottom line. Similar reality, I think, for the NFL. There needs to be a firewall between the game and the business of the game, because the business of the game wants points. The business of the game wants excitement, wants the ball thrown, wants the quarterbacks healthy, wants to have exciting games in the fourth quarter. And I doubt that there's a firewall, Chris, between the business of football and the football of football as these rules are being devised and applied now, because there is an overwhelming incentive for the entire sport and the good of the sport as it relates to how much money it's pouring into the coffers of the owners to do the various things that we're complaining about that seem to be antithetical to the sport. They are not antithetical to generating as much profit as possible from the sport.
It's going to come back.
And that's where I think a lot of this is coming from.
I think you're right. It's going to come back to bite them in the ass, though, if they continue down this road. And it will. It's going to hit home to where
What did Mark Cuban say?
What's that? Well, yeah, Mark, right.
What did Mark Cuban say?
Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered, right? And it goes into also, too, what was it? Al Davis always had the saying, like, once 345 gets too involved in the league, it's going to be an issue. And right now, I think 345 is too involved in this issue, and it's going to hurt the league. It is. It's going to bring problems, and it's already starting the trickle-down effect here, and they got to watch out.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.